915 Talk is a production of Desert Voice Media. You can visit desertvoice.media to learn more.
915 TALK.
The world is looking at El Paso.
What will we say to the world? From the KELP studio in El Paso, this is 915 Talk.
And now your host.
Good afternoon, beautiful citizens of the borderland. This is 915 Talk, and I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we are yet again broadcasting from the heart of the world's largest borderplex. We're here at the KELP studio in El Paso, and we have Mac Daddy Del Norte on the board. Mac Daddy, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, Andy. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I thought you'd never ask.
How so?
I must confess that my vocabulary is painfully poverty-stricken. I am unable to describe the wonder and joy of this educational journey that we have embarked upon as each and every weekday afternoon.
Yes.
We're learning to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.
That's right.
But you know what I'm thinking about today, Mac Daddy Del Norte?
What are you thinking about, Andy?
I'm thinking about the types of ministries that churches have.
Okay.
Let's think about the types of ministries that churches have.
All right.
For example, you're in the electric guitar ministry.
Yes.
Yeah, you take that ministry. Oh, we recently had Easter.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, how many churches did you serve with the electric guitar ministry?
I was actually able to serve in 4 church services.
4 church services with the
Yes.
electric guitar ministry.
And when I say services, it was different churches.
Yes.
4 churches.
Yeah, 4 different churches, 4
Yeah.
different sets.
Yes.
Which church was the best?
Ooh, they are all the best.
See, that was a trick question. I can't trick you, Mac Daddy Del
Not
Norte.
in that area, you can't. We're serving the same God.
Amen, brother.
Yes,
So there's so many different ministries in the church, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm thinking about ministries that serve different age groups.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, like, you could have, of course, children's ministry, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You could have, VBS is coming up this summer.
Yes.
That's free childcare, folks. Get out to your local church. Spend some time at the mall.
Yeah.
So there's VBS. There's children's ministry. Oh, there's young married. Young married
true,
ministry.
true.
Yeah. Those folks are going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was going to be just so easy, and the honeymoon was just going to continue.
Yep.
And then they woke up about 3 weeks in, and they're like, "Oh man, what have we done?" That's why churches have young married
There you
ministry.
go. There you
Yeah, a men's ministry.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I was recently, I spoke at a church's men's ministry.
Uh-huh.
They get up at like 6 in the morning on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know about the Sabbath.
They do not.
They get up early, and I had the privilege of speaking. What are some other ages? Oh,
Well, for sure, youth. I don't know if you mentioned that already.
youth groups.
Right?
Yeah, youth groups.
Or teens. I don't know if there's a different.
Any self-respecting church has a teens ministry.
Yes, for
That
sure.
might be an exaggeration, but most churches have a teens ministry. Then there's what we call the Silver Saints.
Yeah, or the golden age.
Oh, the golden age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm entering the golden age.
No,
yeah.
you're a silver saint.
You know, you know how I know I'm entering the golden age?
How so?
I recently bought a bird feeder.
Oh wow,
And now I get up in the morning and drink my coffee and watch the birds.
man.
Yeah, next is I'm going to get in my AARP membership. They're gonna moving to Florida. I'm
That's
joking.
great. That's
I'm
good.
joking. But there's one age that a
Okay.
lot of churches overlook.
Okay,
Uh,
would that be like? Oh man, between the mids, like 30 to 40
no, I think they're covered. They're covered,
covered?
bro. Yeah.
babies. No, there's nursery.
There's nursery.
Shoot.
I
don't know.
See, churches are really focused on children and youth, and then it gets awkward because they become college students. And a lot of churches don't really have a ministry for those young people who are going through really one of the most pivotal
That's
moments
so
in their
true.
life.
That is very true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
I agree with you.
my yes, you should. My youngest is now entering college age, and I'm thinking, like, where is he gonna go?
But aren't they considered youth? Like,
No, it's a different thing.
huh?
It's a different time in
Oh,
life.
wow. Never thought about
Because think about it. Think
Uh-huh.
about it. When you were in high school, everything's kind of structured for you.
Yeah.
You enter college,
And
and you can get away with a lot more when you're in college. You don't have that structure, and you got to make some decisions.
true.
Were you making wise decisions at that point in your life, Mac Daddy Del Norte?
Actually, I was.
Oh, you were?
I was.
Oh, okay. Well, the Lord knows. The Lord knows.
I wouldn't be here
Yeah.
if I were making bad decisions.
Right. Amen. Amen. Well, I'm not here because of my good decisions. I'm here by the grace of the Lord.
Amen.
But we're going to be talking about all these things. We have two very special guests.
Nice.
Two very special guests. Do you know why they're special?
Definitely, because they are the unique expressions of an endlessly creative God.
Oh, they are the unique expressions of an endlessly creative God.
Yes.
And one of them is a regular on this program. And as we often say, when you come regularly, that makes you more special. Yeah. And he's the youth student ministries minister at First Baptist. That's that's top tier Baptist.
There you go.
Yeah. And he's been on this program multiple times. And then this is kind of a big deal, Mac Daddy Del Norte.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the BSM?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have.
Yeah. Do you know what it stands for?
No.
Baptist Student Ministries.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
Is that the one at UTEP?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Baptist Student Ministries. The new, I think he's the chief executive officer, or the he's shaking his head. The director. Okay, that's not as exciting, but God loves him just as much.
Yeah,
So,
amen.
So without further ado, let's give a very warm Borderland welcome to Jeremy Craker and Jonathan Crow. Jeremy and Jonathan, welcome to 915 Talk.
Thanks, Andy. Good to be back.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andy, for having me.
Yeah, so Jeremy, you've been on multiple times, and we've kind of brought up this conversation before, but this whole idea that a lot of churches are really focused on children and youth, and rightfully so. But then maybe they feel like they don't have the manpower or whatever it takes. And quite frankly, a lot of their kids are leaving right after high school.
Right.
So they don't have a college ministry. Speak into that.
Yeah, so I think you're right on. There's a lot of factors that age group tends to be kind of an in-between, or oftentimes even overlooked. And some of it is just sheer numbers. Like if you're a medium-sized church, like you said, you have a decent-sized youth group, but a lot of those students graduate and they may go off to college. A couple of them might stick around, but then they get jobs, and their jobs might keep them from being at church regularly. And so you've only got a handful of college age or young adults, and you're like, man, we kind of want to do something to minister to these, meet them where they are in their stage of life and help them grow and mature and get connected in the life of the church. But then, maybe you don't have enough volunteers, or maybe you can't find a leader who really has a heart to understand that age group. And then they just fall through the cracks oftentimes.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to see that stage of life being such a critical stage, but also I think that they just get overlooked really easily within a church ministry context.
Sure. And I think later we'll talk about maybe what your challenge or word of encouragement would be for those churches that are maybe wrestling with that. But we're going to be talking about youth missions, college age evangelism. Set the stage for us.
Yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, as an extra special guest, because I've been back, we've talked about some of the youth ministry and college ministry topics or concerns. And one of the things that I've always approached in ministry is making sure that church ministries are balanced. And I like to use a three-legged stool example. if you have a stool with 3 legs, those 3 legs need to be even, or that stool's useless, right? It's not going to be balanced. And so I always focus ministry on head, heart, and hands.
Okay.
And so head, it's like knowledge and teaching the Bible. That's an important part of any ministry. But we need to balance that out with heart, which I kind of relate that to building meaningful relationships, building community, and understanding a heart for God and not just knowledge of God. And then that third one is hands, and that's actually putting your faith in action. And early in my ministry, I was very heavy on the head stuff. I could teach the Bible to young people. I could give them theology. They could, I'd develop, not trying to build myself up, but I could develop really great Bible lessons. And then I'd realize like 2 weeks later, they have no idea what I've taught, right? Like they take in so much information. I was like, man, there's got to be more. And when I got married, my wife had a real heart for missions. And so she really brought in this perspective of the hands, going out and putting your faith into action, getting young people in situations where they have to rely on the Lord for guidance and confidence and words to speak, and then seeing him move through them as we serve and meet different needs. And then through that, you build connections, you build relationships, you have fun. And so this 3-legged stool, this balanced area of head, heart, and hands really became kind of a goal for me in how we structure ministry. And I think a lot of ministries out there might be really good at one of those, but rarely do we see a good balance of those. And the one I see oftentimes the least emphasized is the hands, right? It's easy to get people together at church. It's easy to do events for your group, fun events, camps, retreats, but oftentimes going out and getting engaged in ministry in different ways is something that lacks in a lot of churches and a lot of ministries, especially for young people.
Sure. Yeah, I think the analogy I think of quite often with that is you're being fed at church, but if you're always eating and never exercising.
Yeah, exactly. My wife always says fat sheep. We have a bunch of fat sheep in churches,
Very good way of putting it. Yeah. So,
no offense. Right.
No offense. I don't think I don't think you're going to be able to just not offend people by saying no offense there. You said what you said. Yeah, fat.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So there is this part of putting the faith into action, actually exercising, find yourself being challenged with what you heard there in the quote unquote classroom at church. What are some of the youth missions that you're seeing right now? Yeah,
so we approach it in a variety of ways. The cool thing is that there's so many ways to be involved in God's mission, right? There's so many needs out there, and each of us is wired uniquely. I love what Adrian, he said earlier about our unique expression of God's creation, right? And so we created with a heart or a sensitivity to certain things. As young people, we may not even know what we're passionate about until we see it, right? Yeah. And so one of our goals in ministry is to take young people and expose them to a variety of needs, a variety of ways to serve, whether that be locally, doing things like, helping elderly people from our church with yard work and just doing a service project on a Wednesday night instead of meeting at church and doing, a Bible study and some worship music. Hey, we're meeting at Mrs. So-and-so's house and we're going to pull weeds for an hour. We're going to pray with her. Maybe another time is just going out into the community, offering free candy or free bottles of water or free popsicles and praying, offering to pray with people, engaging in conversations. Yeah. And then there's stuff that we can do beyond our city. We call those mission trips, right? Lots of people take mission trips, and there's so much variety in what kind of mission trips we can take, whether it be work-focused, helping meet physical needs, whether it's going to help a church and be a boost to a church who's trying to reach their neighborhood, helping them do maybe like a VBS or do a youth outreach or just various things that we can come alongside ministry that's already happening. And then there's foreign trips where we can go and see what God is doing around the world and seeing him at work in different people groups. Like there's so much variety out there. But the key is actually going and engaging in some of that, taking those steps where we are being the hands and feet of Jesus, and then letting God use those experiences to maybe help us discover new gifts or new passions. Maybe it's to give us a burden for a people group or for certain issues that the world is facing, and then seeing how God uses us to continue pouring into those things, and being part of what he wants to do through those things. So I love just the variety that's out there, and how each of us kind of relates to those things differently. Right. So here's a cool thing. We go to summer camp every year. And summer camp's usually just it's fun. It's a great time to build connections, students to students, leaders to students. But one of the camps that we were going to offered a mission option in the afternoons, and that sent us out into the community. And we've been going up to Glorieta, New Mexico, so they would send us down into the city of Santa Fe. And for 3 years, we did yard work for elderly people. That was our mission project.
So you're at the camp in Glorieta, which I believe is right there, I-40. It's up in the mountains.
25, yeah.
Oh, 25, okay. That's interesting because you're having this camp, and then you actually leave the camp, and you go into Santa Fe, and you're helping out the elderly?
Yeah, so the particular projects that they set us up with was with this organization in Santa Fe that has a connection to elderly people who just aren't able to do yard work on their own. And so they rely on volunteers, and the volunteers get sent to various homes. We show up, we pull weeds, we mow the grass, we do whatever, right? So we did that for 3 straight years, and some of our students loved it. They loved working. They were like utilizing their strength. Guys were showing off how many bags of trash can we carry, how many bricks can we move? Sure. Oh, let me use the pickaxe or the weed eater or whatever, right? So a lot of people really enjoyed it. And then others, it was a slog, man. I mean, they're just like, wait, we got to do this. We're going again today. We're doing the same thing, right? And those are all character building opportunities, and we're serving and we're working together. And some people carry the load, and some people are just barely getting by, and we get it. But what we saw is that we were kind of doing the same thing for a couple of years. So the 4th year, we had the opportunity to work with the camp. And they allowed us to structure our afternoon time for missions the way we wanted to. And so I was able to get with some of our leaders and make a lot of contacts on our own with different ministries and organizations in Santa Fe. And so what we were able to do that summer, this was last year, 2025, we were able to allow our students to pick to be on one of 4 teams. Okay. One team was focused on homeless ministry and those who were kind of in need physically. One team was focused on elderly ministry, working with some elderly homes and the Veterans Home in Santa Fe. Another team did the yard work ministry, just like we had the previous years. And then we had a 4th team that was doing evangelism and outreach in the community. And so we gave those 4 options to the students, and we were like, man, we don't know how this is going to be. Maybe the evangelism outreach team could get 3 people, and then the yard work one might get 40 or whatever. But we saw it distribute evenly. And each team had pretty much exactly what we needed to be effective with the ministry projects that we had lined up. And so we allowed the students to kind of pick something that they had an interest or a heart for, and then they got to experience that. And then we'd come back together at the end of the afternoon and be like, oh, it was cool, we did this, and oh man, God allowed us to speak to this person, or oh, during this project we did this. And so it was really cool just seeing how those different interests and those different ways of serving in that community were just utilized in different ways. And so I think that's a kind of a picture of how we could just be focused. Let's just go to camp. Let's just have fun. Let the kids run around. They got mud wars and paintball and great things, right? Fun stuff for teens. But how can we take this to be more ministry minded and show them that in whatever we're doing, even in fun events, we look for ways to serve the community. Yeah. We look for God to use us. We look to be the hands and the feet of Jesus in wherever he takes us, right? Yeah. And so it's just been really cool to see that. And then we incorporate some of those same elements throughout the year in our youth ministry. And then we tried working in mission trips of various kinds going other places and focusing on other kinds of ministries. And so a lot of influences have kind of helped me develop my perspective on that. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Vinny Carafano with King's Kids here in El Paso.
Vinny Carafano.
Yeah, man, the guy's...
listen to this, Jeremy. We need to talk about Vinny on
Yes,
air.
please.
Okay,
he deserves the airtime right here.
So when I was a missionary in Russia, we hosted multiple teams from El Paso, King's Kids. And then I came to El Paso, and I saw Vinny, and I was like, hey, Vinny, you need to come on the radio. I could get, I don't know, the governor of Texas on the radio more easily than Vinny Carafano. Speak into that.
Well, he's everywhere, man. The guy, he's been to 100 and something countries.
Yeah.
He's crossed the Atlantic. He told me that he's crossed the Atlantic Ocean. I think it might be triple digits. Times.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm giving Vinny a hard time. That's so funny. But that's so cool to hear that, I think as a youth leader, it would be much easier not to do all the things that you're describing, right? And you're doing it the hard way because it's the right way. And also King's Kids, which Vinny is a part of. I know a big part of King's Kids is that God is calling the young people are not the church of tomorrow; they're the church of today.
Absolutely,
and that also means that they are to be young people are to be ministering today. So I appreciate all of that. Super cool to hear all of that.
Yeah. So anyway, we're excited about those opportunities, and we're excited to see how it develops our students' heart for the community, for the world, for the way God burdens or wires them for service. And then that leads to the next step is if we introduce them to those things as youth, when they transition to college and they get involved in a college ministry at a church or on a campus, then they're ready to serve, engage, and meet needs wherever God sends them, right? And that's where I'm excited about our church's partnership with the BSM, the Baptist Student Ministry of El Paso. As Adrian said earlier, it's right by UTEP. It's right next to the Whataburger. That's where their building is. And they're doing great things to reach students on campus, and that's a big emphasis for them. And that's why I wanted my good buddy here, Jonathan, to come on and talk with us too today.
Yeah, super cool. So, Jonathan, first of all, welcome to El Paso.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said your mom grew up in El Paso or is from El Paso?
Yeah, my mom, all her side of the family is from El Paso. So I grew up visiting, but me and my wife just moved here at the end of January and have been getting settled in. So
okay. So you came at the end of January. You moved here from Fort Worth, which is kind of like upper class Texas, and then
it's a lot more green.
Yeah, it is. But now you're in the real Texas, so welcome. Right. And before we talk about the Baptist Student Ministry, just get an idea of where you stand on the issues that we're dealing with here in the borderland. It's a question we ask, just almost anyone who comes in for the first time. It's a question you're asked here in El Paso, particularly when you go out to eat. It's a food question. Question is this: Jonathan Crow, new director of Baptist Student Ministries here in El Paso, red or green?
I'm about to go with the green.
Oh, that is correct.
Yes.
That is correct. Okay. All right. Then we can continue our conversation.
Please.
All right. So tell me about your journey back to El Paso.
For sure. Yeah, I think something, even a reason I'm a part of the Baptist Student Ministry is because God really transformed my life during college and used the Baptist Student Ministry at the university as a part of to really grow me in my faith and see the value of sharing the gospel, the value of really investing in people, and the value of really doing community well and looking for opportunities to serve and meet needs. So really going into college, I grew up in a Christian family, and my dad was a pastor when I was younger, so I knew all the right answers of what it meant to know Jesus, or I knew I've heard the gospel, but to really understand what it meant to know it for myself or to accept it for myself, I didn't really come to terms with till my freshman year of college. So even walking in to college, my heart started pushing away to church, and I started walking away from faith I grew up in because my heart wasn't attached to it. I really didn't know Jesus for myself. And talking about earlier about like wise and unwise decisions, like I think I was starting to choose unwise decisions because like that's what I knew and I saw other people doing and they seemed like content with it. So coming like into college and seeing the like result of like unwise decisions, like, and really coming to a low point, like God really met me and changed my life. And like as I was getting more involved into the Baptist student ministries there, people really stepped into my life and like encouraged me and like pushed me to step into uncomfortable situations, to share faith, to really grow and like understanding like why I believed what I believe. And as I grew in that, like God really used that to shape my heart for other college students, because like there's like college is a place where people are seeking direction and like looking for like what is next, like what's after this, or what's the purpose of life. And this is such a like unique opportunity just to like meet people and show Jesus as the purpose of life, in a place where they're looking for answers and looking for understanding of like why Jesus is the like purpose of life if they've grew up hearing it, or like why other things aren't the purpose of life if like they grew up not hearing that. So it's like such a unique like opportunity just to meet people like where they're at and to like listen to who they are and understand them, but then also like meet them with the like most like the greatest need that people have, which is Jesus.
Amen. Super cool. I think we could talk a lot about uncomfortable situations. That's the term you used as we continue this conversation. If you're just joining us, we're with Jeremy Craker. He's the student ministries pastor at First Baptist. Did I get that right?
Yeah, the way it works, it's fine. It works. I think on the website it says youth and college minister. But,
okay.
Whatever.
Right.
You can call me whatever you want, Andy.
Yeah, so I can call you whatever I want. That I feel like that's a challenge. But we have Jeremy Craker with us, and also Jonathan Crow. Jonathan is it feels like the prodigal son has come back home. His mom grew up in El Paso, and then he grew up in Fort Worth, but now he's back here in the borderland as the director of Baptist Student Ministries, a ministry that I know a lot of our listeners know about. Jeremy, as you said, it's the best explanation of where they're at is they're by the UTEP Whataburger.
Yep, that's right.
We do need to take a break. Before we go into the break, this is the part of the program where KELP Radio would like to thank our impact partners. These are local businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions, churches that have joined us in our mission to serve our community through radio ministry. And I was thinking, which impact partner should I choose today? And we're going to go with Coldwell Banker Heritage. And Patrick Tuttle has been a frequent guest on this program as we talk about real estate. Getting to know our community through the lens of real estate is super fun. He's also he's a deacon at First Baptist. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. But he's a really great guy. So Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate. And the reason I thought of that is because Jeremy just said I can call him whatever I want. And I asked Patrick, I said, is it called Coldwell Banker Heritage or Coldwell Banker Heritage? He said, well, it's Coldwell Banker Heritage, but I don't care what you call me. Just call, which is a great answer from a real estate guy. So you can find Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate here in El Paso and all our other impact partners by going to KELPradio.com and just scrolling down to that impact partner section. We're going to go into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. That's right. It's people just like you who make this program possible. Together with Desert Voice, you can learn how to better serve our neighbors and pray for our community. To become a Desert Voice Media partner, you can visit desertvoice.media. That's right. That's the website, desertvoice.media. Take a look and join us today in reaching our borderland for Christ.
This is Pastor Steve Castrita. I'd like to extend the invitation for you to join us in service every Saturday at 5 p.m. at Redeeming Grace Church, El Paso. We are located at 2400 George Dieter inside Iglesia Philadelphia. We're a young church on the east side of El Paso with no smoke, no lasers, and no gimmicks, just the uncompromising Word of God and a call to win the 915 for Jesus Christ. We'd love to meet you and your family. God bless you, and thank you for listening to KELP.
Greetings, KELP listeners. This is Terry Gray, pastor of Calvary Chapel, Sun City, and speaker on the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. Calvary Chapel, Sun City is located at 960 West Borderland Road on the west side of El Paso. We hold services on Wednesday evenings at 7 and on Sunday mornings at 9 and 11. If you are without a church home, we would love to have you join us for worship and Bible study. You can find out more information about us on the web at www.ccsuncity.org.
Breaking worldwide news. You can now feed your mind, feed your soul with great Christian teaching and talk on Alexa. That's right. All you have to say is, "Hey Alexa, play KELP radio," and boom! Instant Christian teaching, talk, and truth 24/7.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
And we're back. You are listening to 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we're with two very special guests, Jeremy Craker of First Baptist and Jonathan Crow, the new director of the Baptist Student Ministries here in El Paso. And before we went into the break, we were talking about uncomfortable situations. We were talking about youth getting involved in missions. And Jonathan, some people, when they think of missions, they think of going to, Papua New Guinea or Cote d'Ivoire or, Siberia. Maybe they're visiting the underground church in China. Just all these different ministry opportunities that there are. But from what I understand, the BSM over spring break decided to reach out to the true heathens of the world. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So Andy, yes, over this past spring break, we took our students down to South Padre, and each year, Baptist Student Ministries from all over Texas will go down to South Padre and host a mission trip called Beach Reach. And what Beach Reach is as people are coming down to South Padre to party and to spend their spring break there, as one of the top destinations for partying in the U.S. We'll take vans down there and offer free van ride services throughout the week to ensure that people are getting.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay. So interesting. I feel like we need to make sure not to brush over what you just said. So you take a van to South Padre Island to reach the heathen masses of college students, and they're there kind of for one purpose. We'll put it kindly, to party, and you actually take vans to get them home safely.
Yes. So we'll pick them up and bring them from one side of the island to the other side of the island. And really what that does is it gives us credibility with these people, because at first, beginning of the week, people who have never been to South Padre is why am I getting on this van to getting me from point A to point B? This is really sketchy. But then as the week goes on, they get more comfortable and seeing okay, this is something that's actually credible. And then people who have been in the years past are oh, we know these van rides, we've seen this year after year. So there's this reputation already in place. But I think the unique thing is throughout the week, what we get to do is as we're giving something that's credible to them, they start trusting more of the people on the van and start opening up more to conversations throughout the week. And it gives our students who are sitting in the back of the van while people are getting on opportunities to have gospel conversations with them. Right. And really just get to know these people and ask them within the short time frame. And there's times the ride will be a 2-minute ride, but people will stay on the vans for 30 minutes afterwards, just engaged in conversations. Mm-hmm. So it's such a unique opportunity to really challenge our students to continually to see the need for sharing the gospel, but also a way that we can provide a need and serve a physical need as a platform to share the gospel too.
Okay. All right. So I have had the opportunity to share my faith with folks who were in various stages of inebriation. And it's always an interesting journey. How do you move past that point where someone is just in party mode, trying to get home safe? like I said, inebriated. How do you move it to the next step?
Right, that's a great question. I think there's a couple like answers I have like to give, just depending on the person that we're like interacting with. Is like the cool thing is like we'll see the Holy Spirit sober people up real quick, where like they're really inebriated, and like as we're getting into gospel conversations, you see like that they are able to cross like a threshold that they wouldn't be able to do on their own in terms of just like really being engaged in conversations. And then the conversation's over and they're going back to like being out of it and like really like inebriated like and seeing that. But then other people, like for when they're getting on the van rides, like they're out of it, they want nothing to do with the conversation, and our main objective in that is to like again like care for them well, like get them from where like they need to be, like where they're at to where they need to be safely, and like look for ways to like if they're open to having conversations, like moving forward with that. But if they're like really closed off or really like out of it or like about to like pass out, like we're just trying to get them to like where they want to be safely, and like again like let that be another like witness of like what we're doing.
Love that.
Andy, I've got a statistic to share real quick.
All right, let's hear
this
it.
is from Texas Baptist.
Okay.
Their kind of overview of Beach Reach. So Beach Reach happens for 2 weeks.
Okay, so this is a Texas thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not
and
just
so
El
it
Paso.
involves, Jonathan said earlier, it involves BSMs from all over Texas.
Okay.
They all kind of converge upon South Padre.
BSMs unite.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Avengers
Okay.
Assemble kind of thing. And so in 2 weeks, in the 2 weeks that groups were down there, 14,389 free rides were given. 14,389 free rides.
Wow. That's okay. That's way bigger than what I was thinking.
Yeah. And
so
then
I'm glad to get the number.
as he shared, the goal is spiritual conversations during those van rides, and not just strictly during the van rides. There's other forms of outreach that are happening during that week, but they estimate 9,970 spiritual conversations took place.
Wow.
In the 2 weeks of Beach Reach with these college students.
Okay. So roughly 2/3 of the folks in these vans are open to some level of conversation. The other third, like you said, you're just showing the love of Christ by trying to give them a safer situation than what they might have chosen on their own.
Yeah, yes. And even like what he was like talking about, like there's other outreaches that happen like throughout the week. Like we'll go to the beach during the day and like look for opportunities to just meet people who are there to hang out at the beach. We'll have like pancakes that like we're serving throughout the week, and like different groups will be responsible like on one night to be at this like pancake line as people are coming out of the bar that's like right across, like, and walking people into like, again, another statistic, 19,838 pancakes were served like throughout the like beach.
19,000 pancakes.
Yes, I don't know what it takes to make that amount of pancakes and still be like able to
of
like, use your
flour.
hands.
Are you serving the pancakes in the vans?
We are not. So like we'll be right outside the bar, and we'll have a tent set up like right across, and people will walk over and there'll be like a stand that just like has pancakes, and it gives like some of our students opportunities.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Yes.
So you're making pancakes on the beach. 19,838 pancakes.
The pancakes are going to be like two spots we'll do it at. Like there's a church on the island, and we'll have like a stand there for people to come, and like we'll tell people about it there. And then like on near one of the bars, like there'll be like a stand for pancakes too.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. What I'm curious about is traditionally, I don't know if you're aware of this, Jonathan Crow of Baptist Student Ministries, pancakes are breakfast food, right?
Yes.
And you're set up next to a bar. Are the bars busy at breakfast time?
Well, we'll serve those at midnight. So it's a breakfast food full
midnight
of carbs.
pancakes.
Full of carbs.
Midnight pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've never had midnight pancakes? You've never craved pancakes in the middle of the night?
You know, the desires of the flesh are what we always endeavor to overcome, Jeremy Craker. But
Yeah.
Around here, it'd be like you crave Chico's tacos.
Okay.
around midnight. Okay, this is the equivalent.
Okay. So I'm this is important for us to work through. So you're making pancakes at midnight. It's midnight pancakes. It's like what a lot of people would do, like an IHOP run, I guess. Possibly, or whatever. I actually don't know anymore. Like I said at the beginning of the program, I recently bought a bird feeder. I'm usually in bed by 9, but whatever breakfast restaurant is open at midnight,
If we had a Waffle House.
Right, exactly. Okay, so you're just providing this space for them to come, hopefully sober up a little bit and maybe think a little bit beyond the moment.
Yes, and some of the people who were coming from like out of the bars, they said these are the best pancakes we've ever had, and I think a part of it's because they're inebriated.
Of course they are.
But again, like while that's happening, we'll have our students like in those spots like welcoming them, getting in line, and like looking to eat pancakes with them. So it's another like opportunity for them to like share the gospel with them and like get to know them, and even like get them like on a van safely, and like have like a service like right there to help them get on vans.
Okay, all right. So I love this. How many vans are there?
I could not tell you the answer to that question, but for our campus, we brought 2 vans. But then there's like all schools across like Texas are bringing like 1 to like, I know one like school brought like 7 to 9 vans. So it's just like with all these universities, like there's like vans left and right. Like you look down the street and you're going to see like 5 vans like in a span of like 1 minute, like driving right by you.
And they all name their vans. This is cool. They name their vans like punny kind of cool names, and then they decorate the sides like they shoe polish lettering all over. So it's a thing, man. I mean, like they invade South Padre Island.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Right. We've never discussed van puns on this show before. Any that you'd like to share with our audience, Jonathan?
Well, actually, like our school, like we won the contest they have there for Beach Reach for our pun that we use. So I
feel like we should have started the program talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so the UTEP van at the Beach Reach on South Padre Island won the van pun contest. And what was your van pun?
It was Vanny the Pooh. So like Winnie the Pooh, but Vanny the Pooh, and it like all the vans have like van in like in the name. So,
on the radio, there's never supposed to be dead air. But the UTEP BSM went to South Padre Island, and they were Vanny the Pooh.
Yeah, so we had Winnie the Pooh drawn on the van. We got
no, you didn't. You had Vanny the Pooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is way bigger than what I thought. It's super cool. How many students went from El Paso?
So we brought 18 of our students with us. Okay. So it was a good group.
Very cool. So you had 2 vans. Were they both Vanny the Pooh, or was there another name for the second van?
We had Vanny the Pooh and WrestleVania.
Yeah, I see why Vanny the Pooh won. Yeah.
So 2 of our students from FBC were part of that team of 18. And I got to be on their prayer support team. Each of them would send pretty much daily like updates and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so going back to the uncomfortable situations and what we were talking about earlier is there's so many ways to meet needs. Like
sure.
Van rides and pancakes to partiers. Like that's a form of missions, right?
Yeah.
But our students, one of them, it was his first time going. And he was like, the first day's update, he's like, it was a shock to me showing up and seeing the lifestyles, the party scene. Yeah. It's not something he grew up with. Thankfully, he never got into that himself. But this is a huge shock. He was very uncomfortable with the vibes down there.
Yeah,
and he was like, I don't know how we're going to be effective in reaching people. But please pray for me. Please pray for me to have confidence and trust in God, and to be able to like overcome the uncomfortableness that I'm feeling to work on our purpose here.
Yeah. Well, I love just that approach that he had, because I think a lot of times when young people go on outreach, they feel pressure to immediately say, God's moving, it's going great, victory after victory, from power to power, but what he's saying is, hey, I don't know how this is going to work. Pray for us, and really understanding the need for Christ to move there. So that's super cool. So we had 19,000 pancakes. How many rides? 14,000 rides, which tells me that most people are eating more than one pancake. But super cool. Jonathan, tell us a little bit more about what Baptist Student Ministries is doing here in El Paso, and maybe a little bit of the plans for the future.
Yeah, for sure. I think like something even coming from Beach Reach that we're seeing is like one of our students was able to like have a like gospel conversations with like 4 people who came to know Christ like throughout the like time there. So 3
Super
like
cool.
during the time, and then 1 when he got back like was texting him and like following up, and then he like texted him again like telling like our student like, hey, like I just gave my life to Christ. And like throughout the time like there, like over like the time of Beach Reach, like there's 338 like new believers. And I think like the exciting thing about like coming from Beach Reach is like our students like see the impact of sharing the gospel, and that shapes the way that they view like students back on their campus. And like for like personally, like my freshman year of college, like I knew we're there to share the gospel, but like I was really struggling to have gospel conversations. But then I saw like 2 people in front of like on the vans, like in front of me, like 2 of like our like who were sharing the gospel, and a guy come to know Christ. And I was like, wow, this actually has an impact, and it shaped the way that I viewed like going back to like university, like when I was a student. So for our students, like what we're seeing is like, man, like they're exposed to people seeing the gospel, and like we're trusting that God's like working and shaping their hearts for like what he's doing there, because they're seeing how good and like how like much he like actually moves, like in spite of like, man, like I'm showing up and like I have no idea how effective I'm going to be during this week when these people are living this like different lifestyle. But now like I'm seeing at the end of the week, like people are actually coming to know Christ, and that like that's a change in perspective like already.
Yeah.
So like coming back, like what we like really pushing and challenging our students is like, man, like sharing the gospel, like we're going to have opportunities for you to serve, and I'm going to like go more into detail what those like opportunities like look like a little bit later on. But just like what we're encouraging you is like this is something that you do as a lifestyle now. Like this isn't just like whenever we go on a mission trip or like whenever we have an opportunity. Like there's people in your classes who like, whether if it's not partying, like have other things that they're turning to for like life or for to like fill them up or to like satisfy them. But this is something that you see that like God can change and like he works in. So it's just like, again, like a different perspective carries this momentum of like our students like looking to like live it out. And then like what we do to continue and challenge and like encourage our students is like we'll have like opportunities like ones that are already in place before like Beach Reach, like we'll do like spiritual surveys on campus. And just to give you a little bit more insight of like what that looks like is we'll have like these questionnaires, and like the first couple questions are just like get to know you questions, like what's your name, where are you from, what are you studying. And then like as we're like approaching people, like we're like looking to get to know people, but then we'll like ask them like, hey, like these are more spiritual questions, like can we ask you these? And it's a way to again continue to have gospel conversations, and it's like on a clipboard. So it's like students are, oh, you're doing a survey, like I love to take that. So as we're asking the questions, it gives us opportunities to continue sharing with them, like asking questions and like putting our students in positions to like carry the momentum of what they're doing at Beach Reach. Like during like Beach Reach, like before Beach Reach, we're training our girls on how to do henna. So what henna is, it's like temporary like body art, and like you'll draw like on their hands, and like it'll last for like a week or 2 weeks, and then it'll like fade away. But how they'll use henna is like there's Bible stories attached to it. Like so the one that they're sharing is about the woman at the well, and at the end of like telling the story, like the question becomes like which water, like well are you drinking from, like the one of living water or the one of this world. And it's another way to share the gospel. So like as our girls are getting trained up and like learning how to like do that and tell the story during Beach Reach, like they're on the beach like doing that and having really good conversations, and they're like coming back like asking us like when can we do this. So starting like actually today, like it's going to be our first time going to be able to table having henna on campus with our students, like going out and like continuing like those conversations just in a different location, like with different people. So I think like just with the opportunities that we have and like the ways that we're looking to continue like train and challenge and model it for them, and seeing how God's like really the one that at work in their hearts to like push them into a new like stage and like a new mentality. Like that shapes the way that they like live out what God's doing.
I love that, because I think, Jeremy, that's a lot of what you're doing as well. You talked at the beginning of the program about taking the youth group to pull weeds at someone's house, and that particular activity is important, just like serving pancakes on the beach at midnight is important, but it's part of building a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's ultimately the goal, right? Is we're providing these opportunities and encouraging them and guiding them through it, with the intent that, hey, they start seeing the world through those eyes, and they start seeing and identifying needs and then stepping into them. And what's cool about the BSM, BSM's like a parachurch ministry, right? They're and so we partner closely with them because of those opportunities for college students, man. I can't plan a trip to South Padre Island every spring break. So we want our college students to get involved in something like the BSM, where they have opportunities to do trips like that, to then be engaged in on-campus evangelism and outreach here at UTEP. And so it's a great resource. So going back to you asking me earlier in the program about churches maybe overlooking college students or what can they do. And if you've got young adults and college age students, you don't have to be a UTEP student or an EPCC student to be involved at the BSM. They target college age. If you're between 18 and 24, go to the BSM, get involved there, and you'll be able to be a part of some of these opportunities for mission trips, for on-campus events, building connections with other people your age. It's a great resource to the church. And even if you have a college ministry at your church and you have somebody leading that group, one of the things I used to do in the past is once a month, we would actually meet on Tuesday nights at that time for our college ministry. And that's when the BSM does their weekly worship service and small group discussions. And so once a month, we would not meet at church. We would go meet at the BSM and be involved in that just for the sake of those connections and helping them see others their age involved in ministry and involved in reaching their campus. So I think it's a great resource for the local church, whether you have a college ministry or not. Look for those opportunities, get them connected to something bigger than just what's happening in your church.
Sure. And this is something you and I have talked about on previous programs, but there is like this cool movement in El Paso where young people are just coming together from different churches. They aren't concerned about those barriers that a lot of the adults have. They're just getting together to serve the Lord and get to know each other in fellowship. And I think it's so important for our community. And like you said, your church might have a college age ministry or might not. Either way, get to know what's going on in Baptist Student Mission Ministries. I'm going to get it right one of these days. Jonathan, how can people connect with what's going on at the BSM?
Yeah, that's a great question.
You'll find this, Jonathan. You're new to El Paso. I do this program every day, and I ask a lot of great questions.
I'm going to start taking
I'm really
notes.
good at what I do. Anyway, go ahead.
I want to circle back to something that Jeremy was talking about when he was introducing his youth, about having the head, heart, and hands, this head, knowing God in our head, but knowing Him in our heart and living this out with our hands. And I think our desire at the BSM, ways that people get involved is we'll have our worship service on Tuesday nights for people, and that's a way that we want to share and teach people about Jesus and what it looks like to live this out. But then throughout the week, we're going to have a lot of opportunities for you to use your hands. And with using the hands, we'll have a free lunch on Wednesdays. And what the purpose of that is as college students are getting this a lunch on Wednesdays, we'll have our students looking to sit down with them and again continue to get to know them and use their hands to relate with these people and share. And I think when we use our hands really well, it's another way we get to know Christ, because if Christ uses hands and through experience, when He does that, and we're experiencing things in the way that Christ was doing things we learn about His character and learn about the things that He walked through. So throughout the week we'll have other tabling opportunities on Thursdays from 10:30 to 12 we're going to start doing henna which to tell Bible stories. Or on Thursdays at 4 we're going to go out and share the gospel using spiritual surveys. Or on Tuesdays in the morning we're going to be on campus having interactive ministry. Or even Tuesdays at 3 we'll have creative ministry. But really the big thing that we're really about and looking for our students to get involved in is discipleship. And what discipleship looks like is following Jesus, but we get to do that alongside each other. So our the way that we look at discipleship is we see how Jesus invested in people's lives and He came alongside and brought them in, and we desire for on staff for us to disciple our students well, invest and step into their lives well, but also for our students to have that same mentality and to be doing the same thing for other students. So we'll have times where sitting down for an hour a week, just talking about your life, talking through scripture and what does this look like to live it out, but also really looking to go past that 1 hour of investing into their lives outside of that.
Super cool. Love all of that. I'm reminded of back in the 90s that we used a lot of other different strategies. And it's cool to hear of some new strategies since the days of the pantomime. The vans, you said the henna, the pancakes, all of these things that in my mind.
They did a coffee outreach the other day too.
Perfect.
Giving free coffee as students walking into campus.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that's all super cool. Love hearing all these things. But Jonathan, how can people get connected with the BSM? Like, how can they find you?
That's a great question. So
yes, it is.
Yeah, that's going back to your question. So we're located right across the street from UTEP by Whataburger. So right by next to Whataburger, the address 101 East University Avenue. So ways to physically get connected is just to show up at our building.
Okay.
But then we'll have
Are you there all day every day?
Yes, we're there from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And then on Tuesday nights we'll have our worship service from 7 till around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then Thursday
wow,
night.
that sounds
they feed dinner
7 to 10 p.m. That doesn't sound Baptist. That sounds Pentecostal. 3 hours.
Free dinner, man. Free dinner, message, worship time, small group discussions, hang out. It's great.
Super cool. Yeah. Okay, so that's on Tuesday evenings.
Yes, and then please follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you're able to keep up with things that we have going on. And our handle is just BSM at El Paso.
Okay.
For both of those.
All right. BSM at El Paso, next to the Whataburger, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You're happy to see people show up.
Yes.
They've got a great space. Students can come in, hang out. They've got a little video game station. They got a ping pong table. They have study areas. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times students go and hang out during the day.
Oh, very cool.
It's kind of like a little mini student union almost.
Okay. Very cool. And Tuesday nights is the big get together.
Big get together. We'll start off with dinner. Come in, get free dinner. We'll sit down, do worship, and have a Bible study and again discussion questions. But then afterwards, we'll just hang out, play ping pong, play other games, or just talk and just have the opportunity.
Yeah, I feel like we should have started this program talking about free food. You're new to El Paso, Jonathan, but that's how we get people out. Comida gratis. That's how we do it.
Hey, let me put a plug in for that too. He mentioned the Wednesday lunch outreach, and so they have churches sponsor a Wednesday lunch and bring in the food. They're feeding 150 or so students every Wednesday. And for new students, it's free. For those returning, they ask for $1 donation, but it's still $1 lunch. It's almost free.
Yeah.
And then the purpose of that is to expose them to the BSM and connect them into conversations, maybe hear a testimony or the gospel being briefly shared while they enjoy that lunch. So if you're a church out there and you want to get involved in reaching college students, sponsor a Wednesday lunch at the BSM. Call Jonathan, get yourself on the list.
That's super cool. Tevin Caldwell is the basketball coach at Chapin High School. They're kind of the perennial high school basketball champions for El Paso. He played for UTEP basketball. He was on this program, and he was talking about how I think it was how he came back to the Lord, and it was because he walked past the Baptist Student Ministries and saw free food, and he was like, I was in college and I was hungry. Yep. And that's how that conversation started. So we know that free food is a great way to reach out to college students. Have so enjoyed this conversation. Jeremy, thank you for coming in as always. Jonathan, if you could pray one prayer for the students of El Paso, what would that prayer be?
I pray for our students to have a life that walks it out and till the day they die. So for them to walk out sharing, walk out investing in others, and walking out serving and looking for needs.
Love it. Thanks again for coming in today. We've had Jeremy Craker of First Baptist and Jonathan Crow, the new guy in charge at the BSM. As we always say, let's learn to love our city and love our neighbors. And I'm going to add today, let's learn to love our college students and give God all the glory. This has been 915 Talk. You have been listening to 915 Talk, a production of Desert Voice Media. To listen to this or any previous edition of 915 Talk, just visit desertvoice.media and click on the 915 Talk link. Let's continue to learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.